Good morning. Welcome to your Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 practice test. Wanted to give you sort of a video guide of this where you can go back and watch it as you need to. The directions for 1, 2, 3, and 4 all are about using the leading coefficient test to determine the end behavior of the graph. If you remember, end behavior has to do with both positive and negative of the leading coefficient. And then the degree, is the degree even or is the degree odd? Problem number 1, the leading coefficient is negative 2x squared. The leading term is negative. The degree is 2. Negative because it's a negative 2 as a leading coefficient. Degree x squared, 2 is even. So the end behavior to match that negative even, both ends of your graph go down, and if you described it, you would say it falls to the left and it also falls to the right. Problem number 2 is very much the same. I'm switching colors. Problem number 2, choose the alternative that makes the best statement, and this time they draw us a picture. This is my leading term. It's 2x to the 4. The leading coefficient is 2. That's positive. X to the 4th, the degree is 4. That's even. Positive even have both ends of our graph going up. Therefore, the correct answer has to be D. It is the only one that shows both ends going up. Problem number 3 is very much like problem number 1. We look at our leading term. It's negative 6x cubed. The leading term is negative and the degree is odd. Negative odds are up on the left and down on the right, so we say it rises on the left and it falls on the right. More of the same with problem number 4. We look at our leading coefficient, that's x to the 3rd. The leading coefficient is 1, that's positive. The degree, x to the 3rd, that's an odd number. Positive odd falls on the left and rises on the right. Therefore, the answer number 4 is B. Problem number 5 is the first one of these that's in factored form. They ask us about roots and they also ask us about multiplicity and what's happening. Remember, this is understood to be one of these. To get our total degree, we would have to know that this is a degree 5, adding our exponents together. So I would say that it's a positive, odd, degree 5 polynomial. And then I work my x-intercepts. The first one would be x minus 7 equals 0. That means that your first x-intercept is at 7. Multiplicity of 1, because one of those factors means that your graph goes straight through, or you could say it crosses. The other factor is x minus 5 equals 0. So the second x-intercept's at positive 5. This one had a multiplicity of 4, which means that it will bounce at that part or touch and turn around. So when we look at the answers to problem 5, the best answer is 7 has a multiplicity of 1, it crosses the x-axis. 5 has a multiplicity of 4, it touches the x-axis and turns around. Even roots do that bounce type. Problem number 6, write the equation of a polynomial. Use the leading coefficient of either 1 or -1 to make sure it crosses the x-axis as possible. With this one, it says x minus 4, so I know my first 0 is x plus 4. Crosses at 0, so I know I have x plus 0. And crosses at 2, so I know I have x minus 2. And it's above the x-axis at -4 and 0, and below between 0 and 2. So if I graph something that looks like that, -4 is here, 0 is here, +2 here. So here are our 3 zeros. It says it crosses the x-axis at -4 and it is above the x-axis over here. So I know in this area it's above. And it's below the x-axis between 0 and 2. Each of these have a multiplicity of 1. In order to get my graph to do what I need it to do and be up here and down over here, all of these have a multiplicity of 1, which means it goes straight through. So it has to go straight through, so it's up over here, straight back down, so it's down over here, and then straight back up. In the first and the third quadrant, that makes this a positive odd function. So my answer is either B or it's D. To figure out which one it is, I can do my multiplication. Multiply your x plus 4 times your x minus 2. That becomes x squared plus 2x minus 8. And then come back and multiply by your x plus 0, or just your x. That makes us x cubed plus 2x squared minus 8x. Therefore, the best answer is B.